Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So my setup is a little weird right now. I'm feeling a little under the weather, so I kind of just wanted to not do too much today. So I'm laying in my bed basically. So I just felt like I really wanted to film this video because I wish that I could have heard this advice when I was going through these things. So I am here to kind of be there for you. If you clicked this video, this is something that you're probably going through, and I just want to say, I recognize how hard this feeling is, and it's one of those feelings that feels crazy because you just cannot understand why you feel so strongly about it. And in these times when you're trying to get over a heartbreak, it's a little hard to keep speaking about it with your friends or whoever's in your close circle, because it's really easy to feel like you're a burden, and it's easy to feel like you're just kind of always unloading, and you don't want to frustrate people because, believe it or not, a lot of people aren't really good at hearing people's problems and do get frustrated easily when it comes to listening to people when they're going through something that seems like it not a big deal to them, but it really does feel like the end of the world to you. And I think that's why they call it heartbreak. It literally feels like there is this horrible pain in your heart that nobody can really understand unless they have gone through it or are currently going through it too. So just wanted to say that before I kind of jump into this. So to start off, my first most important thing that I would say, if you are actively going through a heartbreak and you are trying to make the steps to getting over that heartbreak, none of this video is going to apply. None of this video is going to work for you if you cannot do this one most important step, and that is to delete them off of social media and delete their phone numbers, go no contact with them basically. And I know, I know, you were probably hoping that that was the last thing that anybody would say. That's how I felt when I was going through this. I never wanted anybody to say anything about removing them from my social media. I never wanted to hear the words go no contact. I kept wanting to hold on to the fact that they would probably come back, or just something crazy would happen and the universe would just put us back together. And honestly, I would tell you, please don't fall for that. Please just know that you will not be able to move on in a healthy way so long as there's even any sort of avenue for you guys to get into contact with each other. And if you do, you are likely to kind of continue going through a toxic cycle with them, whether they it just you keep restarting, doesn't work, you go they ghost you, or whatever it is. So just know that moving on in a healthy way cannot happen if they are still present in any way, shape, or form. So now that hopefully you have done those things, we can actually talk about more of the mental things. Now doing the mental stuff is going to be a lot easier because out of sight, out of mind. You're not constantly stalking them on social media. You're not wondering when you're going to get a surprise text from them. You're not wondering if they're going to like your photos or look at your stories. Now that that stuff is taken care of, we can focus on the you aspect, right? So I think that when we have a crush, or when we're not in a relationship with somebody, what do we do? Number one thing, at least this is something I did, right? I would almost dehumanize them. And when I say I dehumanize them, I don't mean that I did it in a negative way. I actually put them on this pedestal that made them like God status. And why I say you need to humanize your crush or whoever it is that you're trying to recover from this heartbreak from is because you need to realize that they are not a god, and they are no different than you or any other person down the street. They're nothing that should have this immense power over you that keeps you in this state of depression or keeps you in a state where you are unable to get out of bed. And I am not ridiculing you if that's the state that you're in. Trust me, I've been there. So it's okay to go through it. It's okay to let yourself feel the feelings that you want to feel. But one easy way to start humanizing a person is to actually think about all the unappealing things about being a person, right? Every single unpleasant human emotion that you feel, any single like unpleasant action that people have to do, remember that they do and feel those exact same unpleasant things. So already, like, they're not much different than you. That really helped me be like, oh my god, wait a minute, this person is not like this like God-given thing to the earth. Like, they're just like anybody else. And a person is not out of your league. A person only is what you allow them to be. It's what you tell yourself that they are. So if you genuinely believe that a person is just out of your league, then yeah, automatically they'll become out of your league because you've convinced yourself of that, and everything that you do now is going to favor that opinion or belief. Everything that they do, you're going to use that as data to strengthen that belief of them being too good for you or out of your league. Nobody is too hot for you. Nobody is too smart for you. Nobody is too much better for you. It's all what you tell yourself. Look, we see it time and time again. People, particularly men, that most people deem as not the most attractive thing ever, with a girl who is a stunner. Why? Because men don't do this as frequently as girls, at least from what I've noticed. They have a lot more confidence in themselves, and they don't actively tell themselves, she's too good for me, she's never gonna like me. So women, we need to take a page out of their book and stop telling ourselves that a guy is too good for us or that we cannot get them. Also, just know that you are not overreacting over your heartbreak, because the same parts that are addicted to drugs in our brain get activated when we are dealing with heartbreak. We crave that person like they are quite literally a drug. So with that being said, know that your healing process is not going to be linear, so don't expect it to be. Know that you're going to have great days and you're going to have bad days. Some days you're going to feel on top of the world and you're going to feel totally over them and you're going to feel exactly like your old self again. Some days you're going to feel angry, and then some days you're going to be devastated and you're going to be crying a lot. Don't give up on those bad days, because that is a totally normal aspect to healing that honestly I don't feel like enough people talk about. It's okay. Don't give up just because of those times. It's not shocking for that to happen. Don't think that you're just going to keep getting better and better and better. You're going to be like all over the place. That's how it is with everything else, right? Think about like childhood trauma. Some days you're totally like not even thinking about it and you're having a great day, and then some days you're just like really down in the dumps thinking about things that have happened in your life. Having a heartbreak is the exact same way, if not worse, because the emotions are just so strong and it's all condensed into a short period of time. So our brains just go crazy. I know that having a crush is sucky because you have to think about like the possibilities of opening yourself up to getting hurt and being disappointed, but the one good thing about it is that it goes to show you that there are people that you can possibly like in this world, and it is exhausting when you do get your heart broken. But instead of telling ourselves that we're never going to find another person who makes us feel this way, or who we can possibly find attractive or that makes us feel good, we should reframe our minds into saying, hey, now that I know that I've met this person and this person has these qualities about them that personally I really like and look for in a partner, that means that there are other people who do have these qualities and who will make me feel the same things. It's just a matter of time, and that's okay. you don't need to be in a rush for these things, and you definitely don't need to be in a rush to get over a heartbreak. I think that a lot of people are constantly doing things that I think are kind of self-damaging and kind of toxic to get over a crush. Like a big one is like serial dating, or just like jumping in to something else, or not actually working through their feelings about that person. And I think that's damaging, because I think that, one, you never fully get over that person, or you also don't get over the toxic things that you might look for, the toxic things that might not be beneficial to you. Maybe you were in a bad place of your life when you fell for this person, and you were kind of looking for that, using that person as kind of like a savior. That happens a lot. You'd be shocked. But I think that you need to just let it hurt. You need to sit in the pain and sit in it for a good amount of time. And you don't need to feel like, okay, I need to find the next thing to get over this. I need to chase another relationship. You actually don't. I really think that when you just jump into another relationship, you have taken all of those traumas and all of those negative feelings, and you've just put that onto this new relationship, and you don't get to grow that new relationship into something beautiful and positive. You're not the best version of yourself. You're not the healthiest version of yourself. You don't know what you might unload on that person. It's okay to be alone. It is okay to be single. And it's okay to take your time to get over a heartbreak. And it's okay to not just be able to bounce back in 3 seconds after something hurt you. That's my problem with a lot of people nowadays. We have this problem where we don't want to be vulnerable. We don't want to make somebody feel like they had any sort of power. Like, it's okay. Like, that's part of the human experience. We're not going to be happy every single second of our life. We can't have happy moments without these hard, sucky moments. So, my other piece of advice is, I want you to journal. I'm not the biggest journaler personally. I really wish I was more into journaling, but when it comes to this, I really am. And pretend that you are speaking to this person. Write about how they made you feel, the good and the bad. Write about the things that you noticed that could have been potential signs that this relationship may not have worked. Write about the things that you liked, but write about why you think it didn't work. Pretend you're saying it to them. And that really does like unload a lot of emotional pain, in my opinion. And you can do this as many times as you need. And write about why you think that they were so appealing to you. Did they bring something up in your life that kind of made you feel like this was a way to heal? Did they make you did they remind you of something? It could be anything. But you need to just remember that they are not the only person that has the ability to make you feel good things. Other people are able to make you good things, and you yourself are able to make yourself feel good things. Surround yourself with positive things. It is okay to need time to be by yourself and to just cry it out. Don't go chasing that person. You're not letting it hurt. You're using something else to get over this person, and that is not the definition of just letting it hurt. It's okay to feel pain. It's okay to not be okay. And obviously, I don't mean go crazy with it, because you will really sink into a deep depression that I don't think is necessary. Make sure you put a cap on it, of course. But that's why I say deleting their phone numbers and deleting them on social media is so beneficial to this, because that really does cut that time that would have taken you to get over them if you were still stalking them. You don't want to see what's going on in their life. You don't want to keep looking at them, because then you're just going to keep feeling like, no, like I'm holding on to this person. Don't hold on to that person anymore. And stop making their actions something that you want it to be. And honestly, just see it for what it is and be like, you know what? This is just what it is. And if it's not working, I'm not going to force it to work. The more you try to force something to work, the less likely it's going to be healthy. It may work, but it's not necessarily likely to be healthy. Oh my God, my eyeliner's transferring everywhere. Remind me not to put my glass skin serum on my eyelids like a fucking idiot. But anyway, make sure you keep yourself distracted in a healthy way. Do your hobbies. don't have your phone out constantly. Don't stalk them. Don't stalk them is the most important thing. But again, if you remove them on all your social media, you won't be able to stalk them anyway. And just remember, this is a process and it does take time to get over, and that is perfectly okay. There's nothing wrong with you, but work through those feelings so that way when you do get into your next relationship, you're not bringing back old, negative, self-destructive habits into a new relationship. I talked about this in one of my previous videos where I believed that there were 5 stages of dating. And when you are in the crush stage, you are in the infatuation stage, and I think that that is the worst stage to be in because it's the most dangerous. And I think it's so dangerous because you don't really know that person yet, and you're not in love with the person yet, but you really think you are. You have genuinely convinced your mind that you are in love with this person, and you start to project all of your fantasies onto this person, and automatically they become this perfect dream ideal partner. When in the crush stage, or situation stage if you want to call it, because that's what crushes kind of turn into these days, because a lot of people have commitment issues and don't want to actually be in a relationship, so it feels like you're just like in limbo, you know? Just realize that you might not have actually known that person. You fell in love with the idea of that person, or you were in love with the way they looked, and because they were so attractive to you, you had to convince yourself that they were also mentally and emotionally attractive to you as well. So it's really quite simple. Again, none of this is going to work if you maintain any type of avenue of getting into contact with somebody. This is kind of a short video, but there is not too much that needs to be said about this. It just is pretty to the point, but the hardest part is the part that nobody wants to do. So I really wanted to make sure that I said those things. And remember, you have the power to take the power back from that person, and it's never too late. Anyways, I'll see you all in my next video. Bye, guys.